Digital console sales are still light years behind their PC counterparts in terms of value and access, so should consoles maybe stop trying to sell us games and just sell us access? Let's chew on this for a bit.
Last week at the Consumer Electronics Show, Sony unveiled the first details for PlayStation Now. This is the cloud streaming service that will allow you to play a bunch of PS1, PS2 and PS3 games remotely over the internet on a bunch of Sony devices, including Sony Bravia TVs, PlayStation 3s, PlayStation 4s and a bunch of Sony mobile and tablet devices. Yep, that's right folks, Sony has a tablet. I had no idea either. So essentially this means that PS4 and PS3 users will be able to sit in their bedrooms and living rooms and play a bunch of games which are actually located in a server in Texas by streaming the video and audio of the game over the internet. What type of games? Well, how about old games? A bunch of old games for a flat fee each month, like having access to a backwards compatible library of games. Or maybe some new games. PlayStation Now would also have some more recent titles which can be individually rented for a one-off fee. So we're one step closer to finally being able to play Vib Ribbon in 720p. Wonderful! But this service has effects that could ripple into what we demand from backwards compatibility and digital ownership in the future.
So is a Netflix-type games rental service a better value proposition than buying digital games which die with their consoles? Because apparently that's what we've been doing so far.
If the last console generation taught us anything about digital sales, it's that they are temporary as all hell, or at least realistic access to them is. Perhaps we were spoiled on the PC for so long that we thought our digital lockers would stay with us as technology evolved. When Half-Life 2 was released via Steam in 2004, our perceptions about digital sales changed forever. Moreover, Steam has consistently met the assumptions we have about digital content by ensuring these games are readily available to us regardless of how new or old our system is, or even what operating system it's running. The PC ecosystem has always been an iterative one, and it's a pretty open platform too. This means that even seriously old games are relatively easy to access and play, be it through Windows compatibility or fan patches or DOSBox. Rarely do you go on the hunt for a PC release and run into insurmountable obstacles. But consoles are still struggling with this even in their recent history. I bought Speedball 2 on Xbox Live when it was released in 2007. Empire Interactive, who published this re-release, went defunct in 2009 and it was subsequently pulled from the store. However, I still should be able to download it by sifting through my download history. But alas, all it downloads is the trial version and it can't be unlocked. So what do I do about this? I don't really think an Xbox Live customer service agent is equipped to read me my digital rights in relation to a Bitmap Brothers port I bought 7 years ago. Or did I even buy it? Maybe I was buying a license or renting a license?
So what did I do? I waited for another re-release to come out on Steam. I've now spent more on HD re-releases of Speedball 2 than I actually have on Speedball 2, but at least now I know that the Steam version I'll probably still have access and be able to play 5 or 10 years from now.
All I really know is that even the games that I feel like I own, the dozens of digital games on my 360 and PS3, despite being digital, are still stuck inside of those boxes. Boxes that will slowly make their way from the TV to the attic over the next year or two. I'm by no means a collector. The reality of moving country twice in 4 years means I keep all my games in this massive friggin' CD wallet. But even I have a problem with the sort of lifespans these digital games seem to have. When I buy something on Steam, it lives there and I feel like it's relatively safe there. I can go back and play games that I bought 5 or 6 years ago, no problem. Same for my Battle.net account, my GOG.com stuff, hell, even my App Store purchases. Regardless of the new platforms, I still have access to those games, but the same cannot be said for all my old console downloads, and that pisses me off. Am I gonna have to buy Flower for a third time when it comes out on PS5? PlayStation Now feels like it's trying to solve a problem inherent with backwards compatibility, right? But what if it's actually solving a much larger problem with console digital sales? What if the solution to digital sales on consoles is not really owning them at all, or at least having a pool of games you can choose from? Isn't PlayStation Plus sort of already doing that? Be them streamed or downloaded, or both? Haven't we been renting digital games this entire time? You know, basically paying the asking price for software that dies along with the console. So maybe console digital sales should stop chasing their PC counterparts and embrace renting and streaming. I guess it all comes down to how we feel about it as consumers. PlayStation Now isn't the first games library streaming service, but with the widespread install base that Sony has, it has the opportunity to be a real game changer in terms of our perceptions of digital ownership.
Or maybe it won't. I just find it an interesting proposition, but in either case, one question still remains. How much would you be willing to pay for a service like this? What's its value? value? Sony don't have an answer for that yet, and honestly, I don't think we do either.